This is VOA News. I'm Marissa Melton. Italy's coronavirus death toll spiked Sunday from 133 to 366. It's the most in any country outside China. With the growing health risks, the government imposed a new emergency decree locking down the northern part of the country with a quarter of Italy's population. Travel into and out of the areas will be highly restricted until early next month. Museums, theaters, cinemas, and other entertainment venues have also been ordered to close. Italy has asked retired doctors to return to service to help treat coronavirus victims. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization said 100 countries are now reporting coronavirus cases, with more than 106,000 people reported being ill. Deaths have surpassed 3,500. New York's governor is calling on the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to allow private laboratories to do coronavirus testing to meet demand. AP correspondent Julie Walker.
New York State now has more than 100 cases of coronavirus, with at least a dozen in the city. And Governor Andrew Cuomo says there's no way to test all those who may want it or even warrant it without private labs.
CDC, wake up. Let the states test, let private labs test. Let's increase as quickly as possible our testing capacity so we identify the positive people, so we can isolate them, and we're successful in our containment.
Cuomo also wants the CDC to authorize automated testing, which he says would increase capacity as much as 2,000 tests a day. Julie Walker, New York.
Egypt is rushing to protect its important tourism sector and reassuring travelers it's safe to visit after an outbreak of the coronavirus on a cruise ship in the Nile. Nearly a third of the quarantined passengers tested positive for the virus. You're listening to VOA News. Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders have each picked up significant endorsements for their presidential bids this weekend. AP correspondent Ben Thomas has more.
I have decided that I am, with great enthusiasm, going to endorse Joe Biden.
Senator Kamala Harris joins a cluster of one-time rivals for the nomination, posting a video statement Sunday.
We need a leader who really does care about the people and who can therefore unify the people. And I believe Joe can do that.
I stand with Bernie Sanders today.
But at a rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Bernie Sanders picked up his own endorsement from the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
He's never lost his taste for justice for the people.
And Sanders tells ABC's This Week he's not surprised to see the Democratic establishment rallying around Biden.
But we are winning the support of grassroots America because we have an agenda that speaks to working people.
I'm Ben Thomas.
A march in Kyrgyzstan's capital Bishkek on International Women's Day was attacked by masked men. Then dozens of women were arrested by police. Reuters' David Doyle reports.
They came to stage a march of solidarity against violence on International Women's Day. But instead, women's rights activists in Kyrgyzstan were themselves attacked before dozens were detained by police. It was unclear what charges they could face. The Bishkek Police Department could not be immediately reached for comment. Citing multiple cases of forced marriage and domestic violence, activists say women's rights are deteriorating in the former Soviet Republic amid a resurgence of right-wing ideology.
That's Reuters' David Doyle reporting. Monday marks the day British royal couple Prince Harry and wife Meghan depart from royal duties as they mark out their new life in Canada, away from the media spotlight. AP's Karen Chalmers has more.
The couple's relationship with the media had been turbulent from the start. On their wedding day, the British press featured stories about a rift between Meghan and her father. Harry publicly defended his wife and directed his anger at the intrusive media he has resented all his life. "I will not be bullied into playing a game that killed my mum," he told ITV News last fall. Royals expert Pauline McLaren believes there was a mismatch between strong-minded Meghan and the royal family.
Because royal women are expected to be, clothes horses. They're also expected to, smile a lot, but not really express any strong opinions.
Karen Shamas, London.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says he'll meet with European Union officials in Brussels on Monday to discuss the influx of migrants in Turkey. As migrants from Syria continue to cross into Turkey, Erdogan says Turkey can no longer abide by a 2016 law that prevents migrants in Turkey from traveling into the EU. I'm Marissa Melton. This is VOA News.